So today we'll be taking up the finite and non-finite verbs. Okay, we have discussed verbs. Yes, we have discussed verbs,
Yes, ma'am.
tenses,
Yes, ma'am.
right?
Yes, ma'am.
But today we'll be taking up finite and non-finite verbs. Okay, we had discussed the other kinds of verbs, but this was a bit lengthy, so I told you that I'll be taking it later. Okay, so today we'll deal with finite and non-finite. Finite we have already seen. We use finite verbs every day, right? And these are the verbs which are uh, changing with the subject, number and person, right? The subject, subject's number and person. They are used by us all. We all know they change with the singular and plural, and they change with first person, second person and third person. Can you give me some examples? Give me the examples. Yes, any one of you give a sentence using finite verb.
Ma'am, she loves to cook the food.
She loves.
To cook the food.
Okay, which one is finite?
Ma'am, loves.
Loves, right? Loves is finite and to cook is non-finite. Okay, so you're using two verbs. But if you are using only one finite verb, then also you can make a sentence, right? Finite verb, it is not necessary for them to have another verb in the sentence. They are correct, and they can be anything. They can be an action word, that is a base verb, or it can be the helping verb, right? The auxiliary verb. That can also make a sentence complete. He is my friend, right? When I say he is my friend, here is a finite verb, because when I change it into you are my friend, then is changed into are, right? It changes with person. If I'm using third person, he is my friend, is used, and if I'm using second person, are is used. Okay, and if I'm using first person, I am his friend, right? So it changes with the person, and it also changes with the number, right? Children are playing outside. The child is playing, right? Okay, so when we are using the finite verb, it changes according to the number and person. Okay, now sentences need a finite verb in order to be complete. Without a finite verb, a sentence would simply be a subject or a subject and other parts of speech that do not express action. Suppose I say the car. We cannot understand what the person is trying to say, the car. But when I say uh, use some finite verb with the words the car, it is going to be complete, right? Like the car drove. Okay, if I say the car on the road, is it complete sentence? It is only a group of words. It is not a sentence, because it is not making any sense, right? It is a group of words. It is not a sentence, because sentence expresses meaning. Okay, so you need a verb to complete this sentence, because without verb there can't be any sentence. You try making sentences without a verb, it is impossible, right? you have to use a verb. That verb can be a main verb or an auxiliary verb, but verb has to be there. Okay, right? The car drove on the road. Now the sentence is complete. Okay, the car on the road through the mountains. This is also a group of words which do not convey the meaning, but if I say the car drove on the road through the mountains, this is complete. So by simply adding the finite verb drove, all the three sentences, they are having complete meaning. Right? Clear? So this is finite verb. Okay? Now come to non-finites. Do you have any problem in finite verb? Any one of you? Do you have any problem in finite
No,
verb?
ma'am.
Yes or no? No. Anyone else? Others? Do you have any problem?
No, ma'am.
So it's clear to you?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So come to non-finites. Okay. Non-finites, they do not correspond to the subject, right? They do not have tenses. Finite verbs have tenses: simple present tense, present continuous tense, present perfect tense, present perfect continuous, all the tenses, in the past tense, in the future tense, all the tenses. But non-finites, they do not have tenses. Okay, and they do not correspond to the number and person of the subject. We have three non-finite verbs: infinitives, gerunds, and participles. Okay, infinitives, gerunds, and participles. These are three non-finite verbs. We will discuss one by one. Okay, so today we will be taking infinitive. Okay, so what is infinitive? It is the most basic form of verb which is unmarked. That means it is not corresponding to the number and person of the subject. Okay, and it is preceded by the particle to. We use this word very often in the sentence that was given in the beginning of the class, right? She loves to cook, right? To cook, that is infinitive. Okay, if I change she loves to cook to I love to cook, you love to cook, to cook is not changing, and if it is not changing, it is infinitive. It is not changing with the number, it is not changing with the person, right? So it is used with to, and it does not change its form. So to, it is the base verb preceded by to. Okay, right? They do not express actions being performed by the subject of clause, and if an infinitive is used in its full form, that is to plus base form of the verb, it can function as a noun, as an adjective, or adverb in this sentence. It has many functions, right? Now, if it is a noun, noun has many functions. Noun can be used as a subject, it can be used as an object, it can be used as a complementary to the sentence, right? So if it is functioning as a noun, it has to function in many forms. So let us see what function it performs as a noun. We'll take up this later, okay? Okay, infinitives as noun. Because infinitives and infinite phrases can function as noun, it means they can be the subject of the clause, the direct object of a verb, or a predicate noun. I told you this, the complementary of a subject. Now let us first take the infinitive as a subject. What is the function of the subject? Any one of you? What do you mean by subject in this sentence? We had discussed this right in the beginning when we were doing subject-verb agreement. What is a subject? Yes. Any one of you?
Ma'am, the object agrees with the subject.
What we are talking about in the sentence, right? About which we are talking in the sentence. That is a subject. Okay. So what we are talking about in the sentence is the subject. Then infinitive, it is used as a subject. Then it must be seen, it must be clarified that about that particular phrase or that particular infinitive, the sentence in the sentence we have been talking about. Like to err is human. What is human? To err. Err means to make mistakes. To err is human. So what are we talking about? We are talking about to err. Right? To forgive is divine. What is divine? To forgive. Right? So what we are talking about? We are talking about to err and to forgive. So both are subjects here. To study mathematics at Harvard. This is a clause. Okay. To study mathematics at Harvard was her ultimate dream. What are we talking about? The subject. What is the subject? To study mathematics at Harvard. Okay. Okay. Can you give me any example? Can you give me any example where the infinitive acts as a subject?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, to see him dancing is a pleasure.
To see. Okay. To see, right? Okay. Anyone else? Very good. Anyone else? Come on. Do I have to call out the names? Do I have to call out the names? Or you are going to
cook dinner for my parents.
I can't hear better. Once again.
To cook dinner for my parents.
Okay. To cook dinner for my parents is my hobby. Very good. Okay.
To play
Yes.
to play cricket with my friend.
You have to complete the sentence, beta. To play cricket
Yes,
with my
ma'am.
friend is my pastime. Okay. So you have to complete the sentence. Yes.
Ma'am, to walk is an exercise.
Yes. Okay.
To
Very good.
walk is an exercise.
To walk is an exercise. Okay. Very good. So we now know that how we can use the infinitive as a subject. Okay. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
To you? Now infinitive as direct object. Object means one on whom the effect of the verb is there, right? The action word, it is having effect directly on that particular noun. That is an object. Okay, it receives the action of the verb in a clause. Now infinitives, when we are using in the sentence, right, it adds an object to another verb. It itself is a verb, but it is acting as a noun. Okay, we are talking about non-finite verbs. So infinitive itself is a verb, but here it is acting as an object to another verb, right? That means there should be two verbs. One verb will be main, the finite verb, because if it is not finite, it is not going to have an object. right? Non-finites do not have an object. Finite verb has an object. So if it is a finite verb, the action on the effect of the action falling on the object is non-finite, but it is acting as a noun, as an object, as a direct object, right? Okay. The verb always should be a finite and transitive, right? We have seen this. The transitive verbs, okay, transitive and intransitive we have seen. There is object only in the transitive verb, right? So there should be a finite transitive verb. Clear? A finite transitive verb whose effect will be on the infinitive verb, which is acting as an object. Is it clear? I'm not going unless you agree to go with me. Okay, unless you agree to go with me. The verb, main verb, the transitive verb, the verb on whose action is being having the effect on the infinitive is agree. Ask the question, agree what? Agree? What is the answer that you are going to get? That is going to be the object. Agree what? Give the answer.
To go with me.
Very good.
To go with me.
Very good. To go with me. Right? So when you get the answer, agree what? Right? So you get the answer of the object. I'm not going unless you agree to go with me. Now this is an object on whom there is the effect of the verb agree. Okay? You appear to be correct. You appear to be correct. You appear what?
To be correct.
Yes, to be
correct.
So that is an object. Okay? Is it clear to you? Do you
Yes,
understand
ma'am.
this?
Yes.
So first we saw it was a subject. Now we are seeing this as an object. So subject is always at the beginning of the sentence. Most of the time, it is not always, but it is most of the time it is at the beginning of the sentence. So we have seen that it was in the beginning, as well as somewhere we have seen that it is at the middle or end of the sentence. But here object will always be with the transitive finite verb. Okay, transitive finite verb. Okay, and that is why the object will be infinitive verb. Okay, the base verb with to. Please be quiet. I'm trying to study. I'm trying to do what? Trying
To study.
very good. Study. So all those which are written in bold, they are intransitive verbs, right? Okay. Right? Okay. Can you read the sentence? Any one of you from here?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, read it.
I am not going unless you agree to go with me. You appear to be correct. Third, please be quiet. I am trying to study. Fourth, they are attempting to solve the equation. Fifth,
Yes,
let me know if you decide to leave early. Sixth,
yes.
we hope to go in the near future. Seventh, we rarely manage to get out of the house for the night.
Very good. So now you get it? Is it clear to you?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay. So we proceed with the third as objects in the reported speech. We have just finished the reported speech, right? You know reported speech? most of the reporting verbs which we use in the interrogative sentence or imperative sentence. Okay, interrogative or imperative. These are used with to, isn't it? He asked to help us fix the car. Okay, right? If we are not using WH words in interrogative sentence, if it starts with the helping verb, we use to, right? So we had studied, he asked to help us fix the car. She said not to answer the phone. She demanded to speak to the manager. All these words which are preceded by to, all these verbs preceded by to, they are acting as a direct object to the reporting verb, like asked here, said here, demanded, offered, promised, or threatened. Okay, these are the verbs and these are the infinitives. Okay, can you read the sentence?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
He asked to help us fix the car.
Yes,
He is not to answer the phone.
it's not clear, but it's not clear. Speak up.
He demanded to speak to the manager.
Your voice is breaking. Anyone else who can read it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes. He asked to help us fix the car.
Yes.
She
Here
said.
the infinitive
She
is?
said,
Infinitive is?
ma'am, to help.
Very good. To help. It is acting as a direct object to the verb asked. Okay. The reporting verb asked. It is acting as a direct object. Okay. Clear? Yes. Next.
She said not to answer the phone.
Okay. One thing you mark here. She said not to answer the phone. Here not is used. That means we are making it a negative sentence. Not is used before to. Okay. And if we are using not after to, it gives more emphasis. Suppose I say she said to not answer the phone. It is as if we are giving the order. Okay. But if I say she said not to answer the phone, that means we are giving telling the person that they should not answer the phone. Okay. So not can be used before to as well as after to. Okay. Yes. Next, beta.
He demanded to speak to the manager.
Yes.
They offered to take me to the airport.
Very good.
I promised to buy her a diamond ring.
Yes.
He threatened to report me to the police if I didn't give him back the money.
Okay. So did you understand this?
Yes, ma'am.
Clear? Now as object complement. Object is also there, and then with the object you have complement that is used to complete the sentence. There is meaning, right? It describes what the object of the verb is. That is complement. Subject complement and object complement. Both are there. Okay. So object complement, that means which do not make sense with only a direct object. There is more information required. Okay. More information required for the verb to complete the sentence. If I say he taught me what? It is incomplete, right? Okay. The teacher told us what? Okay. So we need few words to complete the information, the extra information needed to make the sentence meaningful. Okay, it is necessary to have the complement because it completes the direct object of the verb. Okay, it is incomplete. The sentence is incomplete without the object complement. Okay, she is forcing me. Forcing me what? Okay, she is forcing me is complete, but it is forcing me what? To do what? Okay, to work through the weekend. Right? I don't expect you what? Expect what? To approve of my decision. So this group of words, this phrase, it is giving extra information about the verb. Okay, the action is not falling on the infinitive. Here, action is not falling on the infinitive. Here, it is acting as the complement to the verb. Okay, are you getting it? Here, it is not the verb which is showing the action. This is not an object, but it is object complement. Okay, complement to complete the sentence, giving extra information. Okay, so it is acting as an object complement. Can you read the sentences? Yes, read the sentences.
I don't
Expect, huh? Yes? Yes, read it, beta.
I don't expect you to approve of my decision.
Yes. Huh. Yes.
We need you to make a few more copies.
Yes.
Janet's father wants her to go to Harvard. I would like the boss to see these reports. He persuaded me to marry him.
Hmm.
They taught me to work the photocopier.
Okay. Did you get it? It is not the object, but it is the object complement. Okay. So infinitives work in many ways. Okay. Let us see at subject complement. I just told you it was object complement because the verb is here. Expect. Okay. Expect what? Now we are using this phrase to complete the sentence. So it is object complement. Okay, not only object but object complement. Now here it is subject complement. Subject is already there, but the subject is incomplete without the use of the infinitive complement. Okay, we need a verb, but verb is already there. Verb is there, but that has to be completed in meaning by providing the subject complement. Okay. Here it rename or re-identify the subject after a linking verb, usually a form of be. What are the forms of be? We have discussed it. Yes. Is, am, are, was, were, right? These are the forms of be. Be, been, being. Okay. So it has to have a linking verb, and that is a form of be. All I want is main verb, is linking verb, and this is the subject complement. To be left alone. Okay, all I want is to be left alone. Want is the main verb. Okay, right? It will change with the subject and the person because it is a finite verb. Okay, all he wants. Okay, all she wants. All they want. All we want. So this is a finite verb which is agreeing with the subject I. Then we have a linking verb which is a form of be, that is. And then we have a subject complement. What does the subject refer to? Here subject refers to this complement. Okay, it is also a predicative adjective, we can say, or pronoun. Okay, to be left alone. It tells you what the subject wants. Or I, what does I? To be left alone. The best thing in life is to spend time with those you love. What is the best thing? Best thing. This is the subject. The best thing. And how it is complemented. How the sentence is complete when I say what is the best thing? What is the best thing? Yes, very good. To spend time, yes. To spend time with those you love. Right? The best we can hope for. What is the best? What is the best?
Even.
Yes.
To break even.
Very good. So this is subject complement. Okay. Now we'll see infinitives as adjectives. Okay. It also acts as adjective clause. Yes, Peter, what happened? What happened? Any problem? Yes. Anything that you want to say? If you're not saying, better switch off your mic. Switch off your mic. Okay. When it acts as an adjective or adjective clause, it provides more information. The function of adjective is to give more information about a noun or a pronoun. Okay. Suppose I say this is a good place to start reading. To start reading modifies the noun place. Which is a good place? This is a good place for what? Place is a noun. And if we say something about a noun, it is adjective. Isn't it? This is the boy to take the lighting lamp. Right? That means boy has been used, sorry, boy is the noun for whom to take the lighting lamp is used as an adjective. Give your brother something to play with. To play with modifies the pronoun something. Something what? To play with. Find a friend to help you study. To help you study modifies the noun friend. Okay. So earlier we had verbs. Okay. And those infinitives were working as an object or an object complement to the verbs. Okay, the finite verbs. Here we see that they are working as an adjective to the noun or the pronoun. The function has changed. Okay, the function has changed. We had seen the nouns now. Now we are seeing it as an adjective. Okay. Now we'll see as an adverb. Infinitive, adverb. What is the function of an adverb? It modifies the main verb, saying something more about verb. Okay, something more about verb, describing a reason why an action is, was, or will be done. Okay, this is called infinitive of purpose. I started running to improve my health. Okay, I started eating salad to control my weight. Okay, what does it say? I started eating. Why? Eating salad. Why? Modifying the eating to control my weight. That phrase is acting as an adverb to eating. Just like to improve my health acts as an adverb to the verb running. Okay? Clear? We must leave now in order to catch our train. Now there is the emphasis to an infinitive of purpose. Right? Now we can use these words to emphasize in order to so as to all these words to give emphasis on the purpose. I started running so that, right, so as to improve my health. If I say so as to improve my health, that is also not wrong. That is also correct, because that is emphasizing, that is stressing on the purpose. But if I say I started running to improve my health, that is correct. Okay, so here infinitives acts as adverbs. Okay, these are the functions of infinitive. Are you clear with it? Are you clear with it? Yes or
Yes,
no?
ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
We'll talk about bare infinitives that I had told you. Bare infinitives. Okay. This is the base form of the verb without to. Okay. Without to. We have seen that infinitives are 2 plus V1. But it is without to. Okay. How can we say it is without to? How can we say this is infinitive? They are the bare infinitive. Bare means without. Okay. Bare means without. That a bare infinitive. That means infinitives without to. Okay. Now, how can we use bare infinitives? Like an infinitive, it is uninflected for tense or person. Okay, it is sim. Because of this similarity, the base form of a verb is often known as bare infinitives, and verbs that take bare infinitives. Which are the verbs? There are all verbs don't take bare infinitives. Okay, there are few words only which take bare infinitives. Okay, the base form is also used after the direct object of certain action verbs such as let, help, and make. Okay, he made me sing. Okay, he made me sing. Sing here is bare infinitive. Okay, it is acting as an object to the verb made. Clear? Now sing is not used with to. Okay, so it is bare infinitive. Made is the main verb and sing is the bare infinitive. He let me complete the work. Okay, right? Are you getting it? Are you getting it?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay, so these are bare infinitives which do not have to, and they are used with the verbs of senses. This is very important. Hear, see, and feel. Okay. Now see, I have taken out some examples. Okay. The base form bare infinitives are in bold, main verbs are underlined, and direct objects are italicized. Italicized means they are in italics. Okay, direct object. Please let me. Let is the main verb. Me is the direct object. And go is the bare infinitives. Okay. It is please give me permission to go. Please let me go. Right? With let, we have seen this in this also, reported speech also. Isn't it? With let, V1 is used. So let me go. Let is the direct, the main verb. Me is the direct object, and go is the bare infinitive. Same way, his father makes him study. His father forces him to study. You can read the sentences. Anyone who wishes to read? Anyone who wishes to read? Anyone who wants to read?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
His
Read.
father make him study. His
Yes.
father forces him to study.
Very
Jack
good.
is helping me to clean the garbage.
No, not
Jack
to
is
clean.
cleaning.
Not to clean. Jack
Yes,
is
ma'am.
helping me clean the garage. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Huh.
He heard me shout. He could hear that I was shouting.
Yes.
He saw her look in my direction. I
Yes.
could see that she was looking in my direction.
Yes.
I felt him touch my arm. I could feel that he touched my arm.
Very good. Now you understood this? This is bare infinitive which does not need to. Right? Okay. And I told you what it is used with. It is used with let, help and make, as well as after verbs of senses like hear, see and feel. Okay. If you remember these 6 words, you can make the bare infinitive. Let, help, make, hear, see, feel. Right? Okay. Clear? Is there any problem in infinitives? Is there any problem, beta, in infinitives? Yes. Is there any problem in infinitives?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
No problem? Are you clear with it? Because it is not complete. Still, gerund and participles are remaining. Okay. So I have taken only the first part today. Tomorrow we'll be taking gerunds, and if it is possible, the time permits, we'll take participles also. Okay. But if it doesn't permit, we'll take it later. Okay. Right?
Okay, ma'am.